Hey guys, how you doing today? Dave Sicleri, Chasing Guitars. We're back. I told you guys recently, I had some videos coming up about my previous collections, and I have some pictures for you, and I'm going to go through some of them today. And by the way, don't remember what I said about Z Sounds, company that I've been working with to get out to you guys, so you guys can play while you pay. It's a great system. You put a deposit down and you take a monthly draw, but you get the guitar in like 3 or 4 days. I mean, it's a win-win for everybody. I have other guitars and more gear that I'm lining up myself through them to reestablish a collection. I do have a little collection going out of guitars, but not like the one I want, and I have to step my way up to where I want to get. But you got to start somewhere. So I think that's a great place for musicians that don't have a lot of money, that need some gear, and can get it worked out with a great company that stands behind everything. They're great to work with, great customer service. Just hit the link below for Z Sounds and check them out. You can find anything you're looking for in there pretty much. Anyway, we're going to start with, I'm going to put a picture up here of my collection, or maybe here, of my collection that I had a few years back. I no longer have a lot of these guitars. They've been sold, traded, whatever. And, things happen where you got to downsize here and there. And I made a move and I sold a bunch of stuff. Anyway, with this picture I'm going to do today, I'm going to go through the Stratocasters. I love Strats. I used them a lot in the 80s, and I hot rodded them in the 80s with Floyd Roses and humbuckers and ripped them apart and routed them. Things I kind of regret now as I get more into collecting later on in life. But then, they suited the purpose. I was playing on the road a lot. They got me through a show. They stayed in tune. A lot of them I took the necks off. I was using Philip Kubicki necks, Jackson replacement necks. I had an endorsement with Nova guitars. Anyway, the first guitar I'm going to show, we're going to go from left to right in the picture. I believe it should be the same. Looking up there, I just got to read my paper here because I don't have the picture in front of me. The first Strat is a Paisley Strat. It's a 1985 Japanese-made Paisley Strat. I did have the Telly at one point as well. I had both of them. Maple neck, really nice guitars, man. I mean, those 80s Japanese Strats and a lot of Japanese guitars like Graco, Bernie, Tokai, all those guitars are great guitars. I mean, I had a Bernie Les Paul that was like out of this world, an older one. But anyway, talking about the Strats, they made really nice Strats back in the day. As a matter of fact, at one point, I don't think it's on this list here, I had a Squire. It was, what was it called? It was the Japanese reissue Strat of like a 72 Strat that Squire put out. And it was an amazing guitar, man. It was like nicer than the Fender guitars at the time. It was like an 82, I think, something like that, 81, 82. And had the big headstock. Great guitar. I mean, you put it up next to a Strat, it played better than a Strat back in the day because for some reason Fender wasn't up to par at a certain time. Japanese started making these guitars that were very competitive and better. So if you can find an old Squire like that, they are truly, truly great guitars. Anyway, this is a Strat Paisley guitar from 1985, made in Japan. Believe it had I think it had an alder body. I'm not really sure. I couldn't tell you what it was made of, but had a maple neck, and it's a great guitar. And it was all stock. Everything, most of these guitars that you're going to see right now, I left everything stock. I got into collecting back then a little bit. As I was a little older, I tried to leave everything original. The next one is a 1999 Sherwood Green Fender 62 reissue Strat. One of my favorite guitars I've ever owned. I love the color. I love the playability. The neck on it, the rosewood they used was amazing. I've been looking for another one now, from the 90s. That's what I'm looking to get. Like, I really liked that one I had, and I believe it was a 99. And it was a great guitar. I mean, it had all stock, single coil pickups. But I'll tell you, the neck was amazing. It had a great tone. And I love them. It's kind of see it in the picture here. The picture is far away. I don't have close-ups of a lot of these guitars. I do have close-ups of other guitars that I'm going to do in the next couple of episodes. But no, I don't have a close-up of this one, but we'll see if we can get you as close as we can. Okay, next one, 1986 Japanese Fender reissue. was an 86 72 reissue in white. Another nice guitar. The big headstock. The neck was more like a thin C-shaped neck. I remember on it. Gee, I want to say it was a 72 reissue, but maybe it was a 67. I don't really. It had the big headstock. It just reminded me of the 72, but the neck taper on it was pretty thin, C-shape. It was a really nice guitar. Maple neck. Everything was original, and they were pretty reasonable back then. This is like early 2000s when I had these guitars, late 90s, early 2000s when I was buying this stuff. Oh, I didn't pay much for it. I mean, I think I probably paid $400 or $500 at the time. I'm sure they're a lot more now. Maybe it was $300 or $400. Really, really nice guitar. Next, I have 1996 USA Lake Placid Blue 62 reissue Strat. Another great guitar. It was another really, really nice guitar. Just the 90s, the Fender was making those reissue guitars were really great guitars. The paint quality was awesome. The necks were really nice. The finish, everything, I kept everything original. I think I used most of these guitars. I really didn't play them live. I used a lot of humbuckers live, so I did switch to a Tele after a while, but I was playing Les Pauls and ES-135s, Explorers, and Firebirds, stuff like that. But I used a lot of these guitars in recordings. And I'll tell you, they're great. If you could find any 90s Fender reissues, Strats, 62 reissues, stuff like that, 57s, and I had a couple long time ago. I had a couple of the early 80s ones, 86, 57 reissues, 86 red, 62 reissues. I had a cream color 57 reissue. These are all from like 1985, 86. They were amazing guitars. Next I have here a 96 Sunburst 62 reissue Strat. Fender Strat. Another great guitar. They're all basically very similar. I mean, the tones are pretty close, a little different. But I just had this thing at this particular time that I was going through and grabbing a lot of these reissues. Here it is pictured here. And then I had a 79, the Silver Anniversary Strat. I don't know if you remember Fender came out, I think it was 79. 80, 78, 79, maybe 2 years or maybe 3 years. They put out the silver Stratocaster with a maple neck. It said Anniversary up here on the horn. And they were big guitars, heavy guitars. Had big neck on it. I remember the quality was good. It was good. It wasn't like these other reissues I'm talking about. It was a pretty nice guitar though. But I'd say that's when maybe the quality for Fender wasn't so great, but it was still an okay guitar. But I remember it was a very, very big neck, very heavy guitar, and it's pictured here, the Silver Anniversary Strat. Then I had, here it is, an 82, it's the 82 Japanese Vintage Squire. That's what it was. I was trying to think before, the JV Squires. It was a Japanese vintage reissue Squire. It's pictured next here. I'm not looking at the picture, but I believe it was black. I think it was black. Anyway, it was a great guitar, man. That guitar, hands down, pretty much smoked any other guitar up there. It was so well made. I mean, it was just like whatever Japan was doing right then, they were doing it right, and they were amazing guitars. I haven't seen too many of these JV Strats around lately, but they pop up every now and then. But if you can get your hands on one at a decent price, it's well worth it. Well worth it. The pickups sound great. The quality is top notch. They're just great guitars. And last but not least, my 1983 Charvel. It's a Blue Burst with a Kahler bar Strat with binding. This guitar right here is one of the ones I played live a lot. In the early 90s, I did a lot of touring. I was doing about 22 shows a month. I was playing a lot live. I was playing all over the Midwest and East Coast, etc. And this guitar's seen a lot of shows. And it's a great guitar. And I ended up selling it to a friend of mine and promised me I'd always get it back from him when I wanted it back. And he passed away, unfortunately, my friend Randy, who used to own, what was the name of the company? They had bought BC Rich at one point, and I can't think of the name right now, but he had owned BC Rich for about 2 years, something like that. And I can't think of the name. Anyway, he owned BC Rich for a long time. We were really good friends. And it was just an amazing, amazing guitar, and I think his wife has it now. So, and she also has a 1978 Ibanez Iceman of mine, which was like a tobacco burst, a real 78 Ibanez Iceman, another great guitar. I think it has EMGs in it. She's got that too. I have to get a hold of her and see if she still has them. I haven't talked to her a little bit of time because you know Randy's passing and everything. But this guitar, I believe, I want to say it was an ash body with a flame maple top, the Kahler, Seymour Duncan's, rosewood neck, shark headstock, Caleb bar, locking nut, and it was an amazing guitar. I do have, I think it's not a great picture of it, but I have one maybe of me playing live. I'll put up here for you so you can kind of see a full body shot. The picture's kind of crazy. It was a long time ago. But you can at least see the full body of the guitar besides this picture, because a lot of other pictures I have of that guitar are very just glimpses of it. But it's a highly sought after Charvel guitar because it had the binding on the front as Strat style. And it's really an amazing guitar. Probably one of my favorite guitars of all the guitars I've ever owned. Just that one was probably one of my favorites, top notch. And I'd really like to get it back if I could, but who knows. Anyway, those are the guitars for now that I just want to show you my collection. I got a lot coming up. I have the next episode, I'm going to do Les Pauls. I had a bunch of Les Pauls. I had Flying V's. I had some vintage stuff like Juniors, like the SG Junior, some more Tellys and stuff like that. But I have just single pictures of some of these guitars, and I will put them up for you guys and kind of review about what they were. And if you can come across them, they're great guitars. Anyway, don't forget to hit subscribe, support the channel, hit the bell, like. I really appreciate it, and I'm trying to get this thing going, so I'm trying to acquire more gear because I love guitars. It's a sickness. I'm a guitar addict, and it helps me get out to get more gear to show you guys. And if I can show you guys where to get great deals, like through Z Sounds, you know, hit the link below, go to Z Sounds. You can't beat it. I mean, you can't beat it unless you're looking in the pawn shop and you find a smoking deal. Z Sounds has got them beat. And I do the pawn shop thing too. And if I find these deals, I will tell you where I'm getting them from. It's in the Knoxville area. I hit the pawn shops. I hit Tennessee Guitar and Sound, Rush's Music. They got a lot of used stuff in there, and I'm always looking around for deals. Anyway, thanks again, guys, and have a great day. And I'll see you soon. We're going to do Les Pauls next time.